We understand that China has a fabulous high-speed railway system. We're very proud of it, and it works very well. But by discussing this topic here, by no means we want to be pompous or you know, appear to be superior or anything. Just purely looking at the issue on itself. Ms. Han, how do you look at the two possible factors that we're looking at? First of all, that the tracks were not clear. You know, something. For such a train that is traveling at over 100 kilometers an hour, I would imagine that the tracks would be clear, and they're not, obviously.
Yeah, so I think the reasons behind are more fundamental than just these two superficial reasons. Either the track is clear or not, or the engines or the brakes are down or not. Because you cannot imagine in China that a high-speed train, be it a full high-speed train or this semi-high-speed train, you cannot imagine that the tracks will be unclosed. It must be in a closed network or system that can the high-speed train be run and be operated. So in my opinion, it's more in the fundamental reason, which is the operational mindset. The management system is not built enough to match the hardware, like the bullet style, the red carpet of the launch of the semi-high-speed train now.
A railway system, a modern railway system, is not just about the speed or the look of the locomotive, but rather the entire...
The whole system. The whole network.
Yeah, by the way, I want to share with you some of the figures. For instance, according to a Guardian article, India's Ministry of Railways has pledged to build around 3,000 kilometers or 1,900 miles of walls along the railways to cut track deaths. And we're not looking at just sporadic deaths along the tracks. Actually, according to figures from India's Minister of State for Railways in 2017, in the 3 years before that, nearly 50,000 people died as a result of being hit by trains on or along railway tracks. So, Aina, are we looking at a very serious problems here potentially?
Oh, look, I mean, you have to have a starting point. Basically, the railways were put in by the British, and they were not improved on. I mean, they're literally, in many cases, running the same engines that they had when the British left. They've kept them going. Now, recently, they're trying to modernize. This is not a high-speed train. This is a train that is meant to go at about 130 kilometers per hour. It can get up to 160. On this run, they got it to 180. I don't know if this was part of it. It does not appear to be that it was the engine. The last four train compartments were smoking, and that is why they stopped. Because of those things. So there might have been a connection error between them, maybe the brakes were being hit on that. But whatever it is, you can't blame them for starting out. China had a number of
nobody's blaming them for
mishaps from doing it, and they should be applauded for the fact. I mean, Modi has said this is a big issue. I mean, many of the people who die on the trains, they're literally clinging to the outside of these trains. It was an 8-hour journey prior to this, you know, medium-speed train entering in and allowing it to be done in 2.5 hours. Before then, it was about 8 hours and more.